Ooh, it's
All
our
right.
first show.
Yeah, it is.
Hey everyone, I am Joe and this is,
Casey.
and we decided to start a podcast, slash video or whatever we want to do. We have a lot of great conversations and we have a ton of knowledge and information to share with you. So we thought, why not record it?
Mm-hmm.
So the name of our show is going to be called The Other Side of the Coin, because there's always two sides to everything.
Mm-hmm.
And we feel like there's been a lot of
Hmm.
one-sided information out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like there has been. So we wanted to present the other side.
Yeah, it's going to be no bars hold.
Yeah.
We're just going to talk about whatever comes to our head, whatever's going on. We're going to talk about the stuff that they like to censor, the stuff that you just don't hear. Our biggest strengths are input.
Yes.
So we like to know things.
We collect information. Tons of it.
It's all up there. So we're kind of using this as an outlet. So not intended for anybody, more of like whoever sees it, cool.
Yeah.
We're just kind of doing our thing, getting it out in the open.
Yeah.
Starting a discussion.
Yep. And sharing what's worked for us. We have a lot of experience, personal experience and experience with clients that we've helped with a lot of things. So we don't want to keep it to ourselves anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We want to share it. So that's what we're doing.
Speaking of clients, so what kind of clients do you have?
What kind of clients do I have?
Yeah. So what do you do?
Oh, yeah. So I call myself a holistic practitioner.
So do I.
And so I use three main modalities of healing.
She is amazing.
People. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Like what she has, I want to incorporate. Like she does, it's an AO scan and it uses the frequency of your voice, your body. That one is amazing. I want to get my own so I can share it. So so she is amazing with what she does.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're pretty,
I'm getting there.
Mind blowing. You blow my mind with all the stuff that you know about natural remedies and
I just gotta share it more.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah, so, pretty much. Okay. Yeah. Let's do it. So how did you start? Golly, when did all this start for you? I know I'm 35 now, and I was around 29 when everything really started to awaken, I guess you could say. So it's been a few years, 6-7 years that I've been in this process, this journey of holistic and natural. What's up, dude?
I'm just getting warm.
Okay.
So that's Micah. That's my third child. He's 8.
There's a glass right there.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whichever one you want to use. Yep.
That'll work, homie. Yep. Get you some alkaline water.
Yeah.
This girl has everything.
Not quite getting there.
Yeah. So she has alkaline water. So that's the best water for you, because we all need an alkaline system.
Helps everything to flow and work better in the body.
Yep.
So yeah, I guess I grew up on a farm, and we had 2 gardens, not 1 but 2 when I was growing up. So we canned our own food and did all that stuff, right? We almost never went to the doctor, and I grew up in a family of 10, so there's a lot of kids. And growing up on a farm, there was lots of opportunity for accidents. Somehow we made it through without anything super major. I mean, I rolled a tractor, but other than that,
Lovely. Lovely. And that's where Western medicine comes in. So it's good for the trauma, you know, broken bones. And
I didn't have any broken bones.
You didn't have any broken bones? No kidding. I didn't either.
Do you know what
but-
my grandma made for me to help me not go into shock? It was the awfulest, most disgusting tasting stuff, but I guess it worked. It was like soda water and something else, I think, in there. It was like a whole mason jar, a whole quart.
Really? Or is it like the Greek thing, the Windex is like the cure all?
I don't know what was all in
Hmm.
there, but it was some home remedy that she
Just used
probably
for
found out of
everything?
her book, and
Oh gosh. I would love to get a hold of like one of those
it was
old books, the old remedies, like so many lost remedies. And there are some that I've seen that are starting to come back. Yeah, we like natural stuff, don't we? Mm-hmm. Like I told this little guy, we don't do mask.
no,
Yeah.
can't breathe.
It make them sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And make her have more problems.
yeah, that's right.
Yep. The bacteria.
You like you some good essential oils, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
And
I put on a couple today. I put on Intune and Passion. Mm. So, yeah.
So anyway, that's kind of my background was we did stuff ourselves.
Yeah.
So I've never been one to, I've always liked to figure out the solution myself.
Right.
If there was a solution, you know, but there was a way to figure it out. And I didn't really start learning though about all the natural remedies until 2015.
Yeah.
So when I started, essential oils were my first like foray into that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, I can literally just use one of my most memorable incidents. I was out in the garage and I went to walk around. We had a truck parked in there and it had a hitch in the back. And I caught my shin on the hitch.
Oh,
know that-
Oh, yeah, I've done that
Oh,
before.
yeah.
Mhm. We all know how that is.
So I thought, I have essential oils and I can just make it to the house. Because it was so intense, you feel like you're almost gonna pass out. Like that's how intense the pain is.
Mhm. Pulsing.
So I made it in here. And I put 1 drop of helichrysum.
I was
on
just
my
gonna
shin.
say helichrysum. Yep.
And I know you probably are gonna think I'm lying, but 10 seconds, the pain was gone.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
10 seconds. And I was planning to go on a bicycle ride later that afternoon. I thought, well, I probably won't be able to because
Uh-huh.
it's gonna turn colors and hurt. Nope. Never turned colors.
Wow.
Never turned colors.
See, that is amazing. What really did it for me. So I started out doing facial care specialist. I wanted to be in somebody's happy place.
Yeah.
So when we moved to Italy, my husband's in the military, and we moved to Italy, and it was right after I was done. So I couldn't use my license and I didn't have equipment to do anything. And over there, you can do things for donation. But,
yeah.
so without equipment, there was no way to keep going. So that's when I started doing, I went to started school for holistic care. And the first time that it really I was like, he actually had a really nasty ear infection. And one of the books that they had sent me, it was for one of my herbal courses. And one of them was for an ear infection. And it was, you make your own garlic oil and then you add melaleuca, which is tea tree, and lavender. And within 12 hours, the fever was gone. I never had to take him to the doctor. I didn't give him any antibiotics. I didn't have to give him any more Tylenol, broke his fever. And so he was probably 18 months, 2 years old. He's 8 now, and he has yet to have another one. So he hardly ever gets sick. So there's got to be a testament of the fact that through this whole, 18 months, almost, and we're going on 2 years now of this pandemic. And I'm a type 1 diabetic. So that was one of the reasons that kind of catapulted me down that journey, you know, that path. And we have yet to end up in the hospital. I mean, I could have had it. I was like a couple months ago, I had an upper respiratory thing, but I mean, yeah, it sucked, but it wasn't like, oh my God.
Well, preventative, that's the thing though, when you're constantly being proactive at supporting your body's natural
Exactly.
immune system.
Imagine that.
And that's the other side of the coin that nobody's talking about. Well, a few
Mhm.
people have, but it's really suppressed. And the thing is, there is nothing that we can experience health wise that you need to be afraid of.
Mhm.
If you know, if you have a little education how your body works
Yeah.
and some tools that will naturally support your body, we don't ever say that anything heals or cures or treats or any of that stuff, right? But your body naturally will do that for itself. We're made so amazingly. Like if you knew how many billions of cells you have in your body and what they do, and
Yeah,
they're constantly they're constantly getting the bad stuff out.
Yep. Regenerating and detoxing.
Yep. But when you
Yep.
don't put good things in,
You're not replenishing.
you're not replenishing, and after a while, it's kind of like if you if you have a quart jar of dirty water, right?
Mhm.
You can either start filling it with clean water and eventually the dirty water will all go out.
Yeah.
Or you can just dump it all out.
And just start all over again.
Start all over. We don't really want to do that with our bodies.
Oh, and
because-
that's usually what I do. Screw this, we'll start all over again.
So you just start putting good things in, and
Mhm.
eventually it will flood out that other stuff. But if you never do anything good for your body, it's kind of hard to feel good,
Right.
to stay healthy. So
Which is, you know, it's kind of crazy with this whole vaccine shit, is that seems to be the only thing, the only way. And what I've told people, I'm like, you know, because there's this whole ivermectin thing,
Mhm.
you know, the horse dewormer. I'm like, really? Like, you guys just don't look up anything, do you? Like, before that even came out, now we know publicly that there have been 65 studies to show that ivermectin is amazing at being antiviral, antibacterial, like, you know. So, and what, it won a Peace Prize in 2005 for working on humans, you know. But the thing is about like the HCQ and the ivermectin and all that stuff and all these other remedies that are antiviral, which is supposed to be a viral thing. And if they didn't suppress that, they wouldn't be able to push this vaccine through. So,
which is leads me to another point. Please, I love that we have choice-ish, kind of, sort of. We should have a choice. We really, I mean, that's for another day. But the people that are pushing the jab that is still under experimental authorization use, right? Please, please, please look up the ingredients. I just
at least try to.
At least try, yeah.
That is real independent research right there. Because if you've noticed, those that like the pharmacists, the pharmaceutical whistleblowers, and they will take a brand new box or a brand new vial and take out the inserts, and it's this huge waste of paper, blank piece of paper with a little square in the middle, and it's blank. There's nothing. So how do you give informed consent if you have no warnings, which obviously there is nothing that is man-made that does not come with a warning. They want to give warnings for cannabis and all these other natural remedies because there's not enough studies, and yet they can't distribute these vaccines, which are not vaccines, with no warnings, no ingredient list, nothing.
And it's experimental.
But that's okay, right? So everything's an experiment. And I love how all these people are talking about those who have gotten all these other vaccines. Now, this little guy right here, he was a preemie, and I wish that I had not given him any vaccines. He's the sweetest boy ever, but there are some things that so his younger brother was born a month even more premature than he was, and he didn't get any shots. He is further along cognitively, developmentally than he was, or that he is. He's the only one that you can tell a difference with. This is when before I knew about vaccines, and he got every single one of them. And the thing about that is that they're 2 months in the hospital, whether they're supposed to be born yet or not, they're still going to distribute them with 2-month vaccines. How does that make sense? A baby who's not even supposed to be born yet, I guess is born, they're 2 months. They shouldn't be getting vaccines, period. And so tell me that there's no correlation, especially with the fact that I do holistic, and he has gotten a lot better, but it's a lot of work.
If you would have known then,
Oh, gosh.
how mad does that make you that you were not educated on that whole thing?
I'm mad that there is no through everything, there's no informed consent for anybody. And the doctors, they don't tell you anything about the shots. They just say, hey, it's time. And they shoot up your kid, and you don't question it.
And did you know that most doctors don't even vaccinate their own kids?
Yeah. Isn't that some shit? Yeah. Which it kind of reminds me of that. It was a Carnegie Hall, or I don't know. It's a recent study where they show those that are hesitant about getting the jab. It starts where really high for those who like either GED or high school graduates. It goes down to bachelor's, and it goes back up, and then PhDs, doctorates. Those are the two groups that there are the most hesitant. And I told my husband, I was like, well, that's because you have people that don't know why it doesn't feel right, and they don't know why they don't want to take it, but they know they don't want to take it, and they know that there's something wrong. And then you have those that do read research and do read studies and are very well versed in the verbiage, that they're like, no, I'm not taking those. I'm not risking that. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that after 18 months, all these nurses and all these doctors and all these therapists who have been on the front line of taking care of these patients are not getting it? They were educated until now. They cared about lives until now. Or they just like with the military, you forfeit your right. You forfeit everything because you're here to serve. How the fuck does that make sense? Tell me, please.
Why does somebody else get to decide what is good for your body?
why do these groups, why do these entities like the CDC and the WHO and all them, why do they get to decide what is good for a vast population?
I have a good one.
Oh,
Why does Bill Gates, who isn't even a freaking doctor,
yeah, who is was it India or Asia? It's one of those countries he's banned
yeah.
from.
Mhm. But why does he
What?
get to have any? Why does anybody listen to him?
Mm. Why is
I
that?
have experience in the wellness industry, right?
Mhm.
I'm not a registered nurse, I'm not a doctor, I'm not any of those
Right.
typical things, but I've spent the last 6 years studying the human body
Mhm.
and how bacteria and viruses work and
Oh.
how certain things can help, like the natural cycle of things.
Mhm.
But I would never presume to tell the entire world that they must do this, like that one size fits all, because it
Mhm.
doesn't.
The people that fell for it and the people that are still falling for it. I mean, to me, it's just like that's a willful ignorance. Because with all, they say with the internet now, we have our information at our fingertips, but yet
Well, ish.
I'm tell me we don't have the most dumb population.
Yeah.
Globally. Well, especially Americans.
Yes.
Mm.
The thing is, though, that we know now also that a lot of your like Google search engine, you're only going to find certain things on there.
Which DuckDuckGo.
You DuckDuckGo.
When
or the
I
Brave.
first started using it, have you ever done the side by side? Like you research one thing on Google and then you research it on DuckDuckGo, and you're like, yeah, I can't find that on Google. Mm-mm.
The Brave browser is another good one to use.
Okay, I use that
So
one too.
yeah, I mean, if you want to be informed, you can.
Mm.
You start. The thing is that when you start asking questions, the universe always brings you an answer.
Gotta get better
Doesn't
at
it?
doing that.
So you
Mhm.
just ask the question, the answer will come usually pretty quickly.
Yeah, as
And
long as
so-
you're open to it,
yeah.
though. That's
Well, and you got to follow those little inner nudges, those, that little
Mhm.
advice giver that you have.
yeah,
You gotta listen
practicing
to it.
discernment.
Yeah. If you get a sudden inspiration to go somewhere or look something up or do the whatever, listen to a certain podcast maybe or
Mhm.
something. There's a reason for it. So just go with it. Don't second
Right.
guess yourself. And yeah,
Isn't that a problem that we all have?
because we have been programmed to only listen to the ones in authority
Mhm.
over us.
So
Right.
there's this process of unlearning to
Oof.
relearn. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so much unlearning.
Mm-hmm. And if you think that you were done, think again. Because I've gone through so many phases, like ups and downs and highs and lows, and like this last year was a real big low. And I think for all of us,
think so.
mine wasn't due to the pandemic, but I had a lot of lows.
There was a lot of adjustments
a lot of adjustments.
that needed to be made that everybody had to make.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I feel for the people. What really hurts my heart is the people that are locked into this fear and they can't see their way out of it.
Yeah.
And it makes me really angry that they're receiving false information. The media has done nothing but propagate fear.
Yeah.
And you cannot logically think when you're locked into fear. It completely freezes your brain.
Yeah, just go on CNN on their Facebook and look at their comment section. Yeah, that's fear. That is crazy to me. Like people are like, they're the ones that talk about life is Black Lives Matter or LGBTQ, and through this whole pandemic, they're the ones that are every life matters, this corona and this and that, and then those who don't take the vaccine, I hope you don't get any health care. I hope you don't go to the hospital. I hope that you die. And Facebook does not take that down. But I'm a terrorist. We're domestic terrorists. Did you know that? Right now, we're in an act of domestic terrorism because we are questioning the establishment. Oh, and we're going against the Rockefeller American Medical Association by talking about.
Oh, there's so many things. So many things.
Mhm.
I think the biggest takeaway I'd like to leave our audience with is we have a choice.
Mm.
Knowledge is power, but only if you use it,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
You do not have to be controlled by fear.
No.
And once you're not controlled by fear and you are able to logically think for yourself and ask questions, you need to question every single question what we're saying. I want you to question.
Don't be an asshole about it. But you question. Let's have a discussion.
Search it out for yourself. Don't just go onto social media, on Facebook and scroll and be like, oh yeah, this person said this, it must be true. Oh, CNN said this, it must be true. No. Search it out, find it out for yourself, find out the answers. If you truly, honestly are seeking answers, you will find them.
Yep.
And there's a solution to every problem.
Yes,
And I'll tell you what the solution is not. Somebody dictating to me what goes in or on my body.
Mm-hmm.
That's not it.
My body, my choice.
We're all sovereign
And yes,
beings.
I feel that way in all areas, all aspects. Not just vaccines, not just now. So, yeah.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
So, you want to wrap it up for today?
Yeah. So, like she said, key points. We make a choice individually for ourselves, period. Question everything. Learn how to have a value of discernment, integrity. And don't forget, the more of us that do get up and speak out and stop being little pussies and just can do it, reach out to us. Don't be an asshole. Like I said, I do not do well with assholes. So if you want to reach out, or if you do have something you're like, whatever, have some respect, be a decent human being, and let's have a discussion. Let's have fun with this.
I think that's what you're trying to say is we don't engage in a bunch of arguments.
No,
that's pointless.
I can be petty, but I'm not here to do that. So
no,
just saying.
Want to have a conversation.
Yep.
So
we're going to talk about the other side of the coin.
Yes. So until next time.
With that,
ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.